Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Wake Up in Yoga. I am Kendra. My pronouns are she, her. And thank you for showing up today. I was taking a couple minutes while I was sitting here and I was thinking about some things I can do this week to help me relax. You know, I show up on my yoga mat and I do my meditations. And that is definitely helpful. But if you would like, add in the comments something that you do to help you relax. I think today I might go and take a walk in a wooded area and just breathe in some fresh air. So with that being said, talking about relaxing, today's intention that I'm setting for the practice is to practice with steadiness and ease and follow the breath. This morning, we'll just be going through a nice and gentle flow and waking up the body a little bit. So I have some props and I'm going to show you how to use some of them with some of this, but if you don't have them, that's okay. I have a cushion here. If you have a pillow or something that you want to sit on for this first part, that can be helpful. I'm just taking an easy seat, legs crossed, hands can be on the knees. Maybe moving some of the flesh out of the way to get your sit bones connected to the earth. Just start grounding here. And just simply breathing in and breathing out. Maybe you want to put your hand on your stomach to feel the inhalation and the exhalation. Throughout this morning's practice, I will be suggesting different postures, but I encourage you to listen to your body and do what feels right to you. If you need to go into a child's pose, just take a couple moments there. Go ahead and do that. Everything I'm guiding you on today, I have been taught by my teachers and they've been taught by their teachers. So this has all been passed down. I'm not claiming any of this as my own. Maybe moving your hand to your chest and your belly. And seeing if you can feel when you inhale, expanding all the way around the torso. Taking the right ear over to the right shoulder. And on the inhale, bringing the head back to the center. Left ear, left shoulder, and then back to center. Working with the breath. Inhale, coming to center. It might feel good to you to then take the chin down to the chest and just do little half circles with the neck back and forth. There's one little spot to you that feels like it needs a little extra attention. Go ahead and give it some extra love. Remembering to check in on the breath, keeping those shoulders nice and relaxed. Bringing the head back center. Just lifting those shoulders up, down, and back. Let's start doing some shoulder rolls. I've got a lot of crunchiness going on. I'm not sure about you. If it feels good to you, you can place the fingertips on the shoulders and bring the arms into it as well. And changing directions. Releasing the hands down to the knees. And here we're just gonna play around with little circuits, little circular motion with your torso. So you're gonna start with the smallest little circles. And then start making them bigger. And now you can go to any extent that feels good to you. I actually really like to go down nice and low. I like how that feels on my lower back. Find what feels good for you. Here, just start to make them slightly smaller and smaller until you come to a nice neutral spine. And then we'll go the other way. So just tiny little circular motion, and then making it as big as it feels good to you. Just, getting the body moving early in the morning. Trying to be as present as we can, not thinking about anything we have to do later today, but just showing up here and giving the body a little bit of love. And slowly making those circles smaller and smaller. If you have a cushion, you can remove it. And we make our way onto our backs. Allowing the legs to just go long. Hands can be by the side. I'm going to be here for a couple breaths. So just allow yourself to be. Notice your breath. Notice your body. Are there any areas that are asking for a little bit more attention today? Just allow the earth to hold you here. Feeling it on the back of the head, on the top of the shoulders, down the back, on the sit bones, the legs, and the heels. Now is a good time to set an intention for today's practice, if that feels right to you. And on your next in-breath, taking the arms above the head and getting a nice morning stretch. And on the out-breath, bringing just the right knee in. Giving that a hug. We're going to hold here for a few breaths. And on the next in-breath, releasing that. Stretching back out. Out-breath, bringing in the opposite knee. Maybe taking some movement with the ankle. And an in-breath, extend. Working with the breath, we're just going to bring in each leg with a little bit of motion and release. So inhale and lengthen. Exhale, drawing the next leg in. Do this one more time on each side. From there, bringing both of the legs in and just letting yourself rock and roll either side to side or back and forth, whichever your body's asking for. Allowing the feet to find the earth, maybe walking them slightly closer to the sit bones. Hands are down by the side, pressing the hips up for a bridge pose. Option here to interlace the hands underneath. Holding for 3 more breaths. And releasing. On the next inhale, bringing the right leg up into the air and taking the fingers and interlacing behind the leg. Just holding here for a moment. An option to add a little bit of movement to the ankle. From here, we're going to bring the ankle to the leg and just interlace behind that one. So you kind of have a figure 4 going on. And just allowing that deep stretch. The further you pull it in, the deeper a stretch you'll get. You can even keep your foot on the floor if that feels good as well. Bringing the left foot to the ground. I'm going to do a little bit of twisting here. So you're going to bring the other foot over and touch down. And then just work your way back and forth, side to side. Next time you come back up to center, go ahead and uncross those legs. Maybe you want to bring them both in and just rock around a little bit here. On the next in-breath, bringing the left leg up into the air. Interlacing the fingers behind the leg. And taking any kind of movement in that ankle. Bringing the ankle over to the opposite leg, interlacing the fingers behind that, and just holding here for a moment. Checking in on your breath. Coming back to steadiness and ease. Bringing your right foot down to the ground, and then just allowing yourself to kind of windshield wiper back and forth, allowing a little bit of twisting in the spine. Next time you come back up to center, you can release the foot down to the ground. And on the next in-breath, we're going to bring both feet up into the air as if you are standing on the ceiling. Kind of looking at the world upside down. If you would like to add a little bit of movement here, you can take both legs and touch them down in front of you, or you can take one leg at a time. Or you can just continue to stand on your ceiling. Raising the arms slightly up towards the legs. Try to draw your head up a teeny bit. Bending the knees and bringing the feet down to the ground. We're going to come on up into our bow pose. So a couple options here. You can keep your hands behind you and bring your feet up to the ground. Or you can find some balance on those sit bones and bring your hands in front of you. Again, with an option to tap the feet. If you'd like to try that, maybe one at a time. Or just holding here. And hold for 5 more breaths. And releasing the feet to the ground. We're going to open up into a butterfly position. Here we are. Now, depending on what's comfortable for you, you can move your legs further out or closer. And take an in-breath and raise the hands up over the head. Out breath, hinging forward. Allowing the neck to relax, the shoulders to relax. Maybe you want to walk your fingertips out in front of you. And releasing from there. Slowly walk the fingertips back. And here, you can take the left hand over to the right knee, right here and right behind your spine. And on the in-breath, you lengthen the spine. Out breath, look over the shoulder. Maybe trying to lengthen the spine a little more on the in-breath and then deepen into the twist just slightly more on the exhalation. And release, and we'll switch it over to the other side. Right hand onto the left knee, left hand's planted behind you, just right like this. And twisting over to the other side. Inhaling, extend, exhaling, twist. And release. You can cross the legs over in front of you. And just make your way up into your tabletop. Here we're going to do a couple rounds of cat-cow. So dropping the belly, gaze goes up, sit bones go up. Exhale, gaze goes back towards the belly button, rounding the tailbone. So working with your own breath here. Maybe taking some other movements, side to side. That feels good. And then any way you can do this, we're going to draw the knee to the right side up and place the right foot in between our hands. So here you can stay down on your fingertips. But this is also, if you do have blocks, you could raise up and have your hands on blocks. Some other options. You have hands in this cactus. They can either be over the head or interlace behind the back. And then from here, working with the breath, and exhale, move into a half split, and then inhale forward. So again, if you don't have blocks, and hands can just be over. Next time you come forward, we're just going to place the left hand on the ground and reach the right one up into the air. Gaze looking up at those fingers. Releasing that hand down to the mat, and then releasing the right leg back. Bringing the toes together, knees as wide as the mat, dropping into your child's pose here. This is also a good time that you can use your block and place your forehead on it. And if you don't have that, you can also stack the fists on top of each other and place the forehead on your fists. And the next in-breath, coming back up to all fours. Maybe taking a couple cat-cows here. And then bringing the left foot in between the hands. Just trying to find a little bit more room, a little bit more of a stretch. Again, you can have your options for your arms. Bringing the hands back to the mat, and then walking the fingertips back into your half split. And here's where you can work with that breath, inhaling forward, exhaling into your half split. And if you like one of these positions or it feels better for you to just stay in one of the positions over the other, feel free to do that. And then returning, look like that, and your tabletop. Here you can take some cat-cows. And then tucking the toes under, I'm going to do just a little lift here with the knees. Bring them about 2 inches off the mat. And release. Again, lifting them about 2 inches off the mat. And release. One more time. Lift. And release. Now, spreading those fingertips wide. I'm going to lift tailbone up and back into a downward facing dog. In here, allowing the knees to be as bent as they need to be. And then maybe pedaling them out on each side. and releasing them down to the ground. We're going to cross our legs behind us. Just come to a seated position on the mat. And bringing the feet long in front of you. In breath, reaching the arms above the head. Out breath, folding forward. Wherever your hands land, that's the perfect place for them. Inhaling, extending the spine. Exhaling, maybe finding a little bit more room. And releasing that. Maybe scooping down slightly on the mat. We're going to come onto our backs. Arms can go out to a T or in goalpost forms. Crossing the right leg over the left. And then allowing the legs to drop over to the left side. Gaze goes over the right. Just allowing yourself to bring out all of your organs. Continuing to breathe. Your next inhale, bringing both legs back to the center, then crossing them, and then crossing the left over the right. Next, you're going to fall over to the right side. Gaze goes over the left shoulder. It's okay if one side feels slightly different than the other. On the next inhale, bringing both of the legs back to the center and crossing them. And then bringing both legs in for a nice big hug. And I like to put my fingertips on my knees and kind of make circular motions here. And then if there's any last position you'd like before we go into our final resting pose, go ahead and do that now. Otherwise, you can take the legs, you can have the knees a little bit further than hip distance apart and just allow them to fall in towards one another. That's an option. Or taking the legs long, allowing the toes to fall outwards. And then hands can either be by the side, on the stomach, or at center. Whatever feels good to you. Just take a moment right here, right now, to allow the body to rest. Maybe think back to one thing that you can do to bring a little relaxation into your day or into your week. Being aware of the breath. Checking in on each part of the body. Bringing awareness back into the breath. Wiggling the fingers and the toes. the next in-breath, stretching the arms long above the head. And the out-breath, bringing the knees into the chest, rolling up into a little ball. Making your way over to your side. And slowly pushing yourself up, allowing the head to come last. Finding a nice, comfortable seat. Taking a breath in and a breath out. Thank yourself for showing up today. I'll close our practice with the universal sound of Om, a universal vibration connecting all beings. Exhaling completely, inhaling fully. All is within, be receptive. Thank you so much for joining me today. I want to thank the sponsors, Global Breath and Earth Life, for sponsoring this. And if you have any questions or comments, you can go ahead and drop them in the comment section now. And also let me know what you're doing to add a little relaxation into your week. Next week, I will be here at 8 a.m. Eastern Time again. So I hope you join me for Wake Up and Yoga.